What's up, folks? Don Juan, the Raccoon King, coming at you again from the San Diego streets. Thank you for coming back and checking out another video. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for quite some time now. These are the top 5 reasons why I love my Harley Davidson Sportster. Keep watching. Alright, Trash Pandas, thank you for making it to reason number 5 why I love my Harley Davidson Sportster. This one is a pretty universal reason for a lot of Harley Davidson fanatics. It tied into one of the big reasons why I ended up purchasing my bike, because I felt like it had heritage to it, right? It had history to it, and that's kind of it, right? Reason number 5 is history that comes with this bike. It might be the post-boomer, millennial, salty veteran, hipster in me, but I like things that are built to last. I like things that have history with them. I like things that have a legacy. I like things that can be traced back. It kind of makes you feel like you're a part of something that started way back then. So this bike ties a lot to that. The first kind of like what you might say the predecessor of the current version of the Sportster would have been the 1952 Model K. That thing had a F-head, flathead type engine. Pretty old bikes. You still see some of those rolling around if you go to old bike shows and stuff like that. Next on, what moved on to this, right, what made the change was in 1957, they turned into a overhead valve type engine. From there on out, they modified it over in 1986. Woo! Great year, 1986. And from there, it turned into the Evo Sportster, the Evolution type engine. And that is kind of what we see here. Distincting factors for those, right, are the push rods that you can see going up and down. They don't cross over like some of the older Dynas or Softails. I think it kind of ties back to, again, the flathead. It has that nice flat line up top. So a lot of design features from the engine itself that you can see, engine and frame, that tie back to the older versions of the Sportsters and the Sportster predecessors. But here you have it all nicely wrapped up. And then the legacy goes forward, right? So we see the Sportster S coming out. There's rumors of a 975, of a Rev Max Sportster model. So there's a lot coming. There's a lot coming to it. All right, before we move on to number 4, I want to hear from you. What are the top reasons why you love your Harley Davidson Sportster? Or maybe you don't have a Sportster. Whatever you got, whatever you're riding, why do you love it, right? What makes it your machine? What makes it make your heart pump? What's your thing? What's its name? Why do you love your bike? Yeah, I have a lot of reasons why I love mine. I ride every day, so that's why I wanted to make this video, share these reasons with you. And maybe if you're thinking of getting the Harley Sportster and testing one out and riding one yourself, hopefully this video helped you out. I'm thinking of doing other videos in the series, kind of along the lines of top 5 mods, all those good things, top 5 things I hate, because there are some things I dislike about the Sportster, about my bike, but more on those later. But what do you think, right? What are your 5 things or top few things that you love about your Sportster or bike? Drop in the comments. All right, number 4 for why I love my Harley Davidson 883 Sportster is the fun factor, right? You get a lot with this bike. So this kind of goes tied into the value that I mentioned a little bit of it, but I think it's fun when you go riding with another person. And again, you get a 2-up bike with this, with a very simple conversion. Bam, you got a seat, you got some pegs, you got 2 people. Your third personality. You got 2 people that can go enjoy this bike instead of just you. So the fun factor of having somebody else enjoy it with you, right? I like to think also that at like 110 miles an hour, a Sportster is kind of like a poor man's MotoGP. You feel it, like you have the wind in your face, the bike's got a little rumble, a little shake to it. Hopefully you're not going balls to the wall and you're about to feel the speed wobbles. But hope you feel it. The bike's responsive to you. It doesn't have that heavy Harley planted feel like other bikes do, like the Milwaukee 8s or the Softails or some of the Dynas, right? They don't feel like that. This feels very light, so you feel the bumps in the road, and it's very responsive to that, and it ties into that fun factor of it, I think, right? You feel the road. You're riding a motorcycle. You're not in a cage. You're not in a bubble. You're not in a safety box. You're on a motorcycle. You're exposed to the elements, and the Sportster lets you feel all that. To me, that's pretty fun. And also with the fun factor of the bike, the value of that fun factor, you can work on it. I love the fact that I can work on this bike because to me it's a stress release, right? I get to do some modifications, I get to take my mind off work, off whatever's going on, whatever's bugging me, and I get to put my time into the bike, whether it's upgrading something, fixing something, tweaking something, checking something over, washing the bike, just going on a ride for the bike. It allows me to do a lot. It's friendly to work on, like I said, so I can do maintenance on it, and that's pretty good. To me, that's fun. That's a stress relief. That's a good weekend off. One of the funnest things that I did with it were kind of like the biggest mod so far was the tank, and that was definitely fun. Just the process doing that all together, it was a lot to it, but the final product gave for a lot of fun after the motorcycle because now I have a little bit more gas to go places. So the fun that this bike can bring me, I love that. I love that about it. Big fun factor. To me, also tying into the fun factor of it is community. There's a lot of community tied to this bike. Just look on Instagram or Facebook and there's tons of Sportster groups. Sportster 883, Sportster Touring, Sportster this, Sportster Addicts, Sportster Squad, Sporty Mob, Till Death! Just a bunch of sporty mob, sporty fans, sporty groups, 40 clubs out there, and that's cool. It's great to know that wherever you go, you're gonna find somebody that likes your bike, that knows what your bike is, that's had something similar to start off with, and then made it their own. They modified it, they chopped it, they screwed with it, they did something that's unique to them, but still started off as a Sportster. To me, that's pretty fun because that gives into the conversation of, again, there's community behind this bike, and there's fun to be had in community. You can meet up, go on rides, all that good stuff. So definitely a big part of the fun factor, community and the following that the bike has. All right, folks, reason number 3 why I love my little XL883N Sportster, the value of it. If you have decent credit, if you put down a decent down payment, you can walk out with one of these bad boys out of the dealership around under 11K. Obviously that was new when I purchased this one, brand spanking new. That's one of the things that appealed to me of it. It was the first time I had any new vehicle from zero miles new, and that was pretty cool. But the value of that, right, for $10,000 just about, you can get yourself a solid motorcycle, a solid, dependable piece of American built motorcycle. And there's a lot that comes with that. So just pointing out, for example, some of the parts, the handlebars, the controls, the mirrors, all this stuff, your levers, handlebars, obviously, all this stuff, it's metal, it's solid metal. It's not like any other bike where you drop it and it's like crunch, plastic, that's it, it's broken. No, you drop this and it's gonna have a scuff, or you're gonna bend it back, as you can see here with my brake lever, but it's there still. It works, it's functional. And I think there's a lot that's to be said for that. Something that's built tough, that's designed to last, that's good. That's good value in and of itself. There's also value in it that you get a lot for this motorcycle, right? So base model, or even when you get up, I think you don't get a 2-up seat. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but you can get quite easily a 2-up seat, and with that and some foot pegs, you got yourself, bada bing, bada boom, a 2-person fun machine. My girlfriend loves going on rides on this thing. It's not the most comfortable compared to my Sport Glide. She definitely says that it's a little bit smoother on the other one. But having something that's a 2-person vehicle out the bat, that's pretty good. That's not something that, you know, you can say with a lot of other motorcycles. So the value in the fact that you get that, that's pretty big. You also get kind of like that taste of the Harley Davidson lifestyle, the Harley Davidson brand. You get a little bit of a cruiser in there. You get a little bit of a intercity vehicle. So it's a good vehicle for what it is. It can do a lot. So the payments are low, and not just the payments, what I pay for the bike monthly, but also insurance payments. Again, because this is an 883 engine, it's a smaller engine. I think that's like 55, 58 cubic inches, correct me somebody. But it qualifies in insurance as a smaller displacement engine, so you don't have to pay that higher premium for the bigger V-twin kind of motorcycles. That's pretty good in and of itself, right? So that's value that you're getting out of your payments for insurance, where you're not having to pay that much. All around, just a great bike for the value that you pay for it. You get a good investment that you're putting your money into. It's a motorcycle that turns heads. Again, for the value, for what you pay for it, for being an affordable entry-level Harley Davidson motorcycle, it turns heads. Before I did some modifications when it was bone stock, I had this really nice Barracuda silver paint that it still has here on the fender. Eventually that's going to get covered up. But I redid the tank, redid the fender, changed the fairing, a bunch of other stuff. Kind of looks a little bit ugly like now. It looks rugged, and I kind of like it. This was, again, the vision that I was kind of going for it. But at its bone stock level, it would turn heads. People would still say, hey, nice bike, nice bike. Don't tell my girlfriend, but I remember this one time coming out of work, I was getting ready to leave, and somebody was like, hey, can I go for a ride? And she was with 2 other friends, and it looked like it was like a bachelorette night girl kind of a thing. I don't know, but I was like, oh, hey, damn, Sporty got it. Sporty's got it. Hey, hey. It's a great bike. It's a valuable bike. Buy the bike. All right, reason number 1 why I love this motorcycle. Dependability, reliability. I have dropped this accidentally moving around. I've dropped it on an accident. I low-sided, somebody pulled out in front of me and then slammed on the brakes, no ABS, so took a little slide about 20 feet, 30 feet maybe. Picked it up, started right back up again, just wiped a little bit gas off the tank, and it was fine. No scratches, no nothing, and it held up, and that was when it was like stock, bone stock from what it is now. I've let this thing sit in the sun. I've taken this thing camping, and I've letting it sit out in the hot desert sun. Longest road trip I've done with this is about 120 miles. That was camping out to, I believe, to Agua Caliente Hot Springs. Not that far of a road trip, but just still, for being a new bike and putting it through straight out that pace, I think it says a lot that it had with no issues. Just, check the oil was fine, kept on going. I have put this thing through like a regular car wash, where the one you just, just kind of scrub it, power wash it yourself. No issues there, no electrical hiccups. I know a lot of people are concerned, like when you wash a new bike, hey, do I scrub it? Do I point? Do I jet wash it? What can I do? What can I not get wet? That kind of thing. And I never really had an issue with it. It's always pretty much started up. Longest it's gone without starting, I left it about 2 weeks while I was kind of on a work trip out to Los Angeles, and I didn't start it up, and came back and worked up again. No battery tender either. So granted, that was pretty new. This bike is less than 3 years old. So it's got a lot that says it about the dependability, the reliability, the longevity of it, and how long it can sustain itself, and how long can it be out there. I think a good way to measure that is trust. I trust this motorcycle. I expect it to turn on when I flick the ignition, hit the switch, and it does. It turns on, it starts up, it gets up, and it goes. I've ridden it in the rain, extreme rain, like flood warning for San Diego, and I know that's not saying a lot for some other places, but like San Diego, heavy rain, San Diego, like thunder, lightning, accidents, the whole 9. And no issues. It ran just fine. So the dependability of this motorcycle, the fact that I haven't had to fix just about anything with it, I love it for that. That is a good number 1 reason why I love this motorcycle. All right, folks, and the number one reason why I got the Harley Davidson Sportster and why I love it is the versatility of it. So this is a model that has so many aftermarket parts available for it. I mean, you look at Lowbrow Customs, you look at S&S Cycles, you look at Arlen Nets Motor, like you have so much available out there in the aftermarket consumer product line. You have so much. There's people that do a lot with just Amazon parts. Not me, some of them are around. Anyways, I recommend that you have a vision when you start out, right? So I kind of got mine a certain color, and I knew where I was going with it, and that had a lot to do with everything that I kind of started purchasing and adding on to it. But I've seen people take this for a dirt tracker, like a flat-out dirt tracker, for a Baja bike and turn it into like a dirt bike style kind of a motorcycle. I've seen full-on cruisers and people that do cruise and go cross-country. They crush 1Ks in a day, and then other things like that. You see people that chop them, bob them out, they turn them into cafe racer styles. There's so much that you can do. So it's just a very versatile platform, and I was very happy that it was affordable. It was something that I could get, something that I can fix and work on myself, and that there was just a lot that was paved out there already as far as what you can do with a Harley Davidson Sportster. Second biggest factor to kind of like tag along with that, I guess a bonus factor that you could say with that, right? So I purchased the 883 engine version. Insurance rates that engine, that frame model, after it's tied to that VIN, right, at a certain price point for your insurance premium. Raccoon King fact, you can later on go ahead and upgrade to a 1200 kit or a 1275 kit or more. So, fun fact there. But you can do a lot with the engine just itself, even if you start off at the base model and build upwards from that. So, for the versatility of the frame, for the versatility of what's available out there in aftermarket parts, for versatility of what you can do with the engine, for what you can put it and take the vision of it and turn it into, I love my Harley Davidson Sportster. All right, folks, that was it. That was the top 5 reasons why I love my Harley Davidson Sportster. If you have a Sportster out there, I hope you love it just as much as I do. I know there's a lot of people that actually end up trading it in, then going up to a bigger engine, to a bigger size, to a different model. Cool on you and all that, but I am never, ever going to trade this little thing. They came close to getting me to do it. They wanted me to do it, but I did not trade it in for anything else. So it's still here with me, and hopefully it's going to be with me for a long time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Folks, thank you again for watching, making it all the way to the end of the video. Top 5 reasons why I love my Harley Davidson Sportster. More to come. Just wait and see. Drop in the comments what you would like to see, because I'm always up for making content for the people, the trash panda habitants. That's you out there. Thank you for watching. It's your Don Juan Raccoon King signing off. Have a good one. Ride safe. Later. No, I mean, I like it. I like it, but it's a little uneven. You see how you can see the ring? Can you just even it up? Can you just kind of like buzz it up a little bit right over here? And then maybe a little bit of brown debris, just trim the edges. That'd be great if you guys could get on that. Bye. I don't know what that was. I would have thought.